Hello there and welcome back to The End is Nigh. Last time I finished up collecting everything I had missed in the previous worlds I explored. All the tumors, all the mega tumors, all the cartridges. So I should be pretty set going forward as far as completion percentage goes. And the file screen seems to be corroborating that, considering that I'm 87% complete. So let's get right into it. So I left off here with the intention of checking out these video games here. And I will check them out, but I'm not going to play them to completion. Mainly because, okay, next week, so to date this video a little bit, next week, Pyre, Sundered, and a few other games I'm interested in are coming out, and I kind of want to be finished with this game before I play those and, in some cases, cover them for my channel. Because, that's a rather large series of games, each pretty distinct with its, like, genre and stuff. And I really don't want to have to be playing this in addition to those, especially since those look so much more my style. I just want to be finished with this at this point, and if I tried to do all of these cartridge games, I really wouldn't have enough time to finish this, so I'm gonna leave this up in the air. Basically, I'm just gonna go through and finish the game, get whatever ending I'll be able to get, because I don't know if, like, completing these cartridges is necessary for a secret ending or something. And then sometime in the future I'll probably come back and finish off all of these. Maybe as some follow-up videos, maybe as a stream, since I do like streaming on occasion, I'm not sure. But I will check out this one right here, the first one, Mortar Man. So there's like 100 Steam achievements for this game, and I only have 20 despite having 87% completion percentage. That's because the vast majority of the achievements are inside these arcade games, so the bare minimum, beat the game. Half empty, beat the game with a certain number of rings, collectibles. And then beat the game without continuing. I'll just go for the bare minimum here, I think. Although I should try and collect as many rings as possible, I suppose. That way I have to do this less times in the future. So I believe I have all the mechanics from the regular game, yeah. The only real difference is that it has a more retro pixel aesthetic, as opposed to the more sort of hand-drawn art style that the main game uses. And I do like that. I'm not a huge fan of the CRT filter. A lot of retro-inspired games like to include that, and I usually disable that option if it's automatically enabled. I'm just not a huge fan of it. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be going for the rings. Well, okay, never mind about that then. As soon as I say, oh, maybe I should give this up, I actually manage it. Who knew that complaining was the secret to winning? Me, I knew it, because it always seems to work out for me. Complain about something and then all of a sudden I suddenly achieve it. Alright, let's see. So in terms of mechanics, it's not really introduced anything so far, although that could change. Yeah, I'm just gonna off myself here. I didn't drop quite correctly. And I do realize I have a live counter over there. I've seen someone else play these games, so I know roughly how they work. Oh, I missed that one, really? That must have been a single CRT pixel off. Okay, once more. I'm aware that you do actually get some continues, and while that will prevent me from getting the no continue achievement, that's fine. I'm just gonna go for the rings this time if I'm gonna get one of those extra chivos. Maybe I do need to land on that pixel. I thought I could make a smooth drop, but it seems that's not quite the case. Yeah, so I only have one continue, so I'm gonna have to be pretty careful going forward. If I do end up failing this, I'll probably just say eh, and move on to the next world. That future hell that I unlocked at this point a fair bit ago. Maybe just a tap? Yeah. I keep forgetting that I can just tap when doing the pull-out jump, and it'll end up making a lot of jumps a lot easier. Nope. Careful there. Can I leap over those spikes? I might be able to. It's the first game cartridge, so its difficulty isn't so bad. I've seen some of the later ones, and oh boy do they look like a lot of fun. I don't know if there are secrets in any of these cartridges. I'm thinking of that now because of that shaft on the left there. Why would that exist? It's not really something that's difficult to avoid, so the only reason I could think as to why it would be there would be hiding a secret. Well, that's something I can check out later. I don't exactly have a lot of lives to waste here, so I'll just leave that for now. One thing I really do like about these game cartridges are the more retro, pixel-y, chiptune versions of the classical songs. That's actually pretty cool. Really, that's one thing that I can say about the game in general, is that the soundtrack does not disappoint. All of the remixes are really on point and are interesting reinterpretations of those original classical themes. Oftentimes having them evoke an entirely different tone than the original versions did, because of what the remix did exactly. Such as the Golgotha theme, which is a lot more like devilish and tense than the original classical theme, whichever one it is. I don't exactly remember the name. Alright, 2 lives left, but it looks like I'm nearing the end. So let's see if I can stick the landing. Knowing me, probably not. I was about to say I'm gonna take this slowly and steadily so I don't screw up. And then I screw up anyway before I have a chance to even say that. Alright, 1 more screen, 10 more rings, 2 lives. Can I do it? Do I have to sacrifice myself here? Maybe not, if I angle myself just right. Perfect. Alright. This is gonna be tricky without losing a life, but I think it's possible. Okay, didn't manage that, but as long as I avoid dying, I think I can have this. Oh, so close. Victory snatched. Sorry, I managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory right there. Okay, that's enough video gaming inside a video game for now. Let's head on to the future. So, I am aware of the future's general gimmick because I was watching Slowbeef stream through this game, and he got up to this point, and I continued watching because I really don't care about being spoiled about this game too much. Oh hey, you're awake. Man, you missed out on some seriously epic fire and brimstone bullshit. It was all bam, boom, ka, crunch, crunch, ba-bomba. Ah! Okay, I'm not gonna... the NPC dialogue in this game it's not good. Then the earth freaking opened up, and every damn tortured soul came out, screaming into the red night sky. Sadly you missed it, lazy. Anyway, there's nothing to live for anymore. I highly recommend giving up now. I did, and look how happy I am. Also, I wouldn't recommend dying. When you die in this place, you leave a piece of yourself behind. See ya on the other side. So yeah, that's the main gimmick of this place. In the previous worlds, when you died, it was no big deal. It was just a bit of lost progress, nothing more. But if you die here, well, you'll see. Right then, because I died. So, look at the counter in the upper left. Previously I had 450 tumors. Then I had 449. Now I have 448 and 447. That counter's going down. Yeah, it turns out there was actually a reason to be picking up all those tumors in the past. Because in the future, the number of tumors you have is your lives count. And if you lose all your lives, apparently you get a game over. Because that was exactly what this game needed, was a live system. That's really what was missing. Thanks, Macmillan. Now apparently it is somewhat lenient in that, I'm gonna have to warp if I want to get back up there. Apparently it is somewhat lenient in that you refill on all of your lives, yeah, whenever you warp. So that's why my life counter just reset there. So as long as I can make it to each warp point without losing all of my lives, and I should be able to, I think, I have 450. I shouldn't risk out on losing too much progress, but still, that added wrinkle, was it really, truly necessary? I say no. Lives were never all that enjoyable of a mechanic in video games, and they really only existed to basically take your money. In the case of arcades, you know, the whole quarter munching bullshit. And in the case of home console games, it was just to extend the playtime by a little bit, since games were quite short back then, and even more expensive than they were today, oftentimes being like 80 to 100. No standardized $60 prices back then. And hell, even today that's not necessarily true. In some regions of the world, video games are ridiculously expensive. Okay, I should have this now. Just leap off and booyah. So yeah, we'll see how well I deal with this tumor mechanic. Let's just refresh that again. I'm pretty sure I should have kept the cart, yeah. What does the collection look like? So there's one other cartridge in Anguish here. So I'll have to keep my eyes peeled out for one more secret. I would say, if not for the fact that I actually know where that secret was. That was something spoiled for me on the stream I watched that I mentioned. And I'm not looking forward to doing that secret. It looked quite brutal indeed. But we'll get there when we get there. One thing I do like though is that having there be no collectibles in the future stages, at least in this first one here, that's about all I've seen. Having no collectibles aside from in specific secret areas is kinda nice. Not having to worry about collecting a moving tumor, for example, just makes their platforming challenges a lot easier. Just because it's easier though doesn't mean I'm not gonna die a bunch. Don't assume that. But I should be dying a fair bit less. And hopefully that means I have to do less editing. If you know anything about me, you know that I'm quite lazy. And I will take any opportunity to do less editing. Okay, I think this is just a matter of timing it right, although it might be easier if I do a neutral jump. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna wait for them to move as far apart as possible. And let's go. Perfect. That was less than perfect. So, one thing about the aesthetic design of this area is that for some reason they decided to make it look like Golgotha except with a hazy filter over everything that just makes it look like shit. I think part of the reason might be to make it so that your death ghosts stand out even more, but like, what exactly is the purpose of that? Making those stand out like that? Because as far as I can tell, it doesn't really do all that much. Like, I really don't think that was necessarily necessary. And it results in an area that just doesn't look nearly as nice. So I know where one secret is, but I can't help but feel there must be something up above there. So maybe there's more than just these two cartridges. I'm gonna risk death here. Yeah, in fact, I think I might need to kill myself if I want to go back and check out that possible secret. So I guess checking out that whoa, a bit of a pause there. I guess checking out that live stream didn't spoil quite as much as I thought it would have. There's still stuff to find in this new area here. Actually, maybe those hooks on the upper left are just coming down from another stage, perhaps? Because I really don't see how I would actually make it over there. Like, maybe I could trigger some part of the stage to rise up. That's been a thing in a few of the previous areas, but yeah, I really don't feel like playing around with that there. I can always go back and do another collectathon. Hopefully this time without me forgetting to record my commentary and then just not feeling like doing post-commentary. Yeah, I saw that one person who commented and the one possibly other person who left a dislike on that video. I hear you loud and clear. I'll try and put more effort in the future. It's just, it's so hard to get the effort to go the extra mile with this game. It's not a bad game by any means, but it's not exactly an inspiring game either. It's a game that I'm playing less because I enjoy it and more because, I don't know, it just has some sort of ethereal pull that makes me want to play it, despite me kind of not enjoying a lot of the design of it. It's weird. Like, it could come down to just my love of this gameplay style that I mentioned before. This repetitious game design that is built in to the, like, core game design itself. That I just end up finding soothing. That could be it, I suppose. But there are so many games like this that are better and more well received that I could be playing, and yet this is the one I want to play, and I'm really not sure why. That's why I called it an ethereal quality, something that can't quite be named. I guess I'm gonna need to jump past it when it sinks. I'm a little bit confused about exactly what I need to do here. Yeah, still having plenty of deaths just from, like, basic positioning stuff. I thought I would have gotten better at this by now, but nope. Like, the first few times I was able to get through that without any issue, and now I can't seem to, and it's weird. Okay. So, when I land on that second platform, it's gonna start sinking. I'm gonna need to jump over it, I guess, because I'm sure I can't go under it. Even if I duck, it's still gonna end up striking me. Okay, I see what I need to do. Clamber up here and time this just... Actually, wait a minute. Can I just jump from here? Didn't I try that last time and it failed? Yeah, I'm a dummy. I'm gonna need to time it just right so I can land on that next one over there before it fully sinks. So I think I might need to jump sooner rather than later. Let's find out. Like that. Oh, okay. Even just lowering that bit was enough to make that tomb lower that I bumped into it, so... It would be quicker if I just rocketed over to that second platform, but I should take my time. Just trying to speed things up that's causing me to lose more and more lives, which, I do have a very good stock. I'm glad I decided to be completionist about things, but I can't exactly go through them willy-nilly. God, this is just gonna be a really tightly timed jump, isn't it? There's no secret trick here I'm missing, it's just, get good, kid. Okay, yep, it was just a super precisely timed jump. Ugh. I hate that kind of stuff. I've mentioned before as to exactly why there's no real thinking involved. I understood what I needed to do. It was just a matter of getting the timing down pixel perfect. And still, the difficulty curve of this game continues to just be a series of loop-de-loops. Like the previous screen, I had so much trouble. This one, no issue at all. There's really no rising difficulty curve. Okay, I see what I need to do. There's more wall hooks that come down if I wait. But maybe I shouldn't be waiting. It's hard to tell exactly what timing I need is the thing. That timing seemed to work out, though. That's the issue of, as always, grabbing onto a ledge with spikes on it. If it didn't have spikes, it wouldn't be an issue. But then, you wouldn't be dying as much, and McMillan couldn't say that his game has as many hours as it does. I can only assume that's the reason for a lot of these design decisions, is just to bulk out the game a little bit. Because, like, I guess a good comparison would be the classic Masocore game, kind of one of the first, up there with Kaizo Mario World. I Want to Be the Guy. It had a lot of precision bullshit like this, but the thing is, that was the joke. The joke was that it was a series of bullshit platforming challenges made specifically to aggravate the player. And you can argue whether or not that actually is good design or worth doing, but that was at least the authorial intent. And I think, even if you don't necessarily agree with it, you can respect it as a decision that someone made. Here, though, there's no joke, at least not as far as I can tell. If there is an intended joke, I'm just missing it completely. Instead, it just seems like this precision stuff is here solely just to pad for time, as I said before. Like, there's no, like, the game does not seem to be laughing at you like I Want to Be the Guy so often did. Whenever you fail. It's like McMillan just wanted it to be a brutal platforming challenge where you're gonna die a lot and didn't exactly think about whether that served a greater purpose. I don't know. Okay. Figures as soon as I stop talking, I get it nearly immediately. Oh boy, the return of the cubes. Okay. I see what's gonna disappear. It's gonna cause some stuff to happen. I'm gonna need to make my way back over. Yeah, okay, I actually remember this screen now from that stream I mentioned, so I think I know exactly what I need to do. Sadly, I didn't leave quite the right blocks alive. You need to leave certain ones extant if you want to actually make your way back over. Which is the most difficult part of this challenge. I think I did a good job this time, though. Nope, not quite. Ah, okay. I need to leave the rightmost ones on the first set alive, the leftmost ones on the second set alive, the left and the right ones on the third set alive, and then the fourth one I just kind of need like one alive and it should be good. Alright, I think I can make this. Nope, again, I keep touching the ones on the left side of the second set and that's what screws me over. There we go, made it this time. I was totally expecting this middle platform to start sinking because that seems like the kind of dick move that the game would love to pull. And I'm just gonna wait for the... Can I just do a pull-out jump all the way over to the right? Or am I gonna need to land on that block in the middle there? Ugh. Fuck it, let's go for it. Oh, of course it's not enough. I should have known it wouldn't have been enough. The game would never be that kind to me, yeah. Alright, time to repeat things again. Alright. Just a matter of jumping over here, and yeah, I should have played it safe. Thankfully, I didn't have to repeat things too much, so the secret here is actually pretty cleverly hidden. So you need to make this to rise up to actually get to the next screen, but if you follow it all the way, secret area, which looks surprisingly like the SS Exodus. I guess this is what happened to it after the tumultuous future. The hell-jinx that got up to while we were asleep, after partying with our bestest friend. I'm gonna need to time this just right, aren't I? I somehow managed to do that the first time, just purely, completely by accident. Now I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it for real, consistently. Which one did I bounce off of? I think it was the one from the uppermost cannon, yes. Okay, yeah, these cannons, they fire multiple shots. It's the upper shot from the uppermost cannon, which is coming right now. Or maybe not. Maybe the single soul shot from the lower cannon would be better to bounce off of. Yeah, that's what I did. Sadly, are there any truly safe zones on that other side? Right above the spikes on the leftmost portion, that's about it. So I guess I can rest there if I want to get my bearings. Okay, I should be safe here, yeah. So let's see. I think if I hang on to that hook to the right of me, I will also be safe. It's a matter of getting over to there quickly enough. Because the spot where the smoke is rising up is definitely not safe. So I just gotta jump straight over, okay. And I should be safe and booyah. Of course, that's only the first screen of just a whole gauntlet of really challenging screens. Got a long way to go before this secret is finished. And a lot more bouncing off of cannonballs because that's a fun mechanic. Am I gonna need to bounce off of one to make it down there? Yeah, probably. I need to wait for the rebound of the cannon shot by the leftmost one. That's what I'm gonna need to bounce off of. Alright, let's go. Oh! Oh, damn it. I didn't take into account the upper one there. I ended up bouncing off of it instead, which kind of screwed me over there. Try it again. Or I could just, you know, crash into a spiky cannonball tumor. That works too. Maybe if I cause my descent to occur more rapidly, I'll be able to intercept that lower cannonball. Or maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree entirely. I think I'll end up gaining enough momentum that I can't get over to the right side without bouncing off a cannonball. But that might not be the case. I suppose it's worth testing that out. Okay, I didn't exactly get to test my theory out, but I'm just gonna assume that it's wrong. It doesn't seem like it's gonna work based on what I know of how the momentum in this game works. And apparently I've lost my ability to time entirely here. Case in point. There we go, it's recovered, somewhat. Let's see. So what's the best point to intercept that cannonball? That has to be the one I jump off of. I guess when it's leftmost before, right as it begins its downward descent. So let's try it like this. Nope, and again I bounced off of the upper one. I really need to take that into consideration more. I did say before that I like these cerebral challenges, but these ones of just having a whole bunch of objects that you have to path out the patterns in your mind, that's something I'm not especially good at, I'll admit. So even if I like it more, even if it's less annoying to do a lot of, it's still not something I'm good at. Let me think. Is there another point in its arcing pattern where it would be better to bounce off of it? I think leftmost, when it begins its downward descent, is the best. I just need to take into account that upper cannonball and actually avoid it. Let's go. And again, it's screwed back. Okay, don't ever ask me to repeat that because I'm not gonna be able to, but I made it, at last. Oh, this screen. There was a really great moment when I was watching Slowbee play through this bit. when he made the realization about what he needed to do to make it to the other side, like the proverbial chicken. Yeah, you see those cannonballs? Look at how they just barely peek above those chain chomp tumors. Yeah, you have to bounce off of them with basically perfect timing, or you're gonna eat shit. Alright, first round is easy enough, but it's not the only one, and I completely forgot about that thwomp, despite knowing it was there from having seen this screen done before. So let's just trigger him and go for that. Oh, I wasn't quick enough. I didn't juke and jive nearly as fast as I needed to. Right. I should have been conscious of the fact that I needed to get off on that landing, otherwise I was gonna get crushed. Which is why, in fact, I did get crushed. Okay, I was seeing if I could quickly grab that cube and then immediately light it up, just to save myself time on repeated runs through, but it's probably better if I take it safe and slow. Alright, now I have to do another series of perfectly timed cannonball jumps. Oh boy. That actually wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be, okay? I wonder how much of that is my foreknowledge from having watched, kind of, I wasn't paying close attention, someone play through this before me, or if it's just because it's not as challenging as it appeared for him. I think I need to do it when it's on the downward descent. No, it doesn't quite work. Upward, perhaps? Upward with a little bit more force in my jump? No. Once I figure out the timing, this shouldn't be any issue. I should be able to do it repeatedly, but it's figuring out the timing in the first place that's the difficult bit. Okay, I might have it. I'll have to repeat that a few times if I want to get it exact. See? God, what was the timing I did in that previous attempt? Moved so fast it was hard to keep conscious of that fact. And the fact that the ghosts are in the way, kind of obscuring my view, certainly doesn't help. Another design decision that seems cool enough on paper, but doesn't exactly work out all that well in practice. Okay, come on, I can do this, I swear. Okay, I'm gonna end up losing all of my lives at this one particular jump, aren't I? And then immediately after I make it, I just have to position myself perfectly, which I managed to do that time, but oh, it's gonna be difficult doing consistently. And never will it actually be satisfying. It's just position yourself in the perfect spot or get splat. Nothing really fascinating about that. So with this moving up and down, I'm gonna need to choose a very specific timing and series of momentum adjustments if I want to land on that platform. Thinking about how the momentum works in this, because if I do it while I'm on the downward descent, I'm going to have so much momentum I'm going to end up crashing into the spikes before I make it over horizontally enough. So I think I want to do it when it's on its upward motion. Of course, if I end up moving to the left too quickly because it's moving up, that's slowing my momentum and I'm gonna crash into the upper spikes. It's just a matter of pure cold precision. Okay, now how did I do this? I figured this out, but maybe I should have just killed myself there and done this a bit more times just to reaffirm in my memory exactly what it was I needed to do. Let's see, I think it was waiting for it to finish its downward descent and then do a light jump. Yeah, I just need to be a little bit more precise this time. Or maybe not. Okay, there we go. Oh boy, back here. And again, just a little bit too soon. Alright, made that. Now I'm gonna need to do a jump when it's moving up so I have the upward momentum. Like that. And, yes, okay. Ooh, no more lives wasted on that screen at least. And don't think I don't see you, Thwomp Buddy. I recognize you by your gears. How am I gonna collect that cube, though? How am I gonna collect both of those cubes? Like, the upper one is easy enough, but the lower one? I guess trigger it, juke and jive, and quickly scoop it up before it fully descends back down. Or just get crushed, that works too. I think the downward one will be more difficult, so I'll go for that first. Thinking about things here. No, I was gonna say there are potentially more ways I could proceed, like maybe alternate paths of navigating this secret. I was thinking of using the upward momentum of this thwomp to make it up to one of those two ledges that are right above me, but I wouldn't be able to proceed beyond there, so never mind. I just gotta avoid getting crushed, which is easier said than done, case in point. God damn it, really? Maybe I should collect the big one first. Sorry, the upper one. I actually seem to be having more trouble with that, or at least crossing back over. Oh boy. The one time I wanted to not grab onto a ledge is, of course, when I grab onto it. Okay, now I just gotta avoid this bullet pattern, which, actually shouldn't be that difficult. I have plenty of space between the bullets, actually. If they were closer together, if there weren't these safe zones, it might be difficult, but as it is, that was actually a really easy obstacle to avoid. And I've made it to the end, nice. This screen shouldn't be so bad. That last jump, though, it's gonna be tricky. Just climb on the ledge, and perfect. Okay. I'm assuming that's all the collectibles, so I just need to make it to the end of here then. And I still have 248 lives to do it. I should be fine. Knock on wood. I guess I jump like this? Yeah. And then do a jump off the ledge to make that a little bit easier, so I don't have to do less positioning in the middle of the jump, and boom. Yeah, despite the troubles I've had with some of these screens, overall I'd say this world is balanced to be a lot easier than the ladder worlds in the past, which is rather odd. You'd think they would just be 2 or 1 more difficult, but I guess not. the loop-de-looping difficulty curve, as I mentioned at least twice before. I guess Edmund must be a huge fan of roller coasters, if he needs to bake them into the design of his game like that. Am I gonna make this? I guess just a perfectly timed jump and then ledge grab, or... yeah, nothing else for it. Okay, that actually wasn't so bad, and... full strength jump? Perfect. I can't do a full strength or a light tap one, yeah. The light tap one doesn't get me far enough. The full strength one causes me to crash into the chain chomp above. I just need to work with my momentum precisely. Precisely! Precisely! Aw, damn it. For a second there, I thought that was going to be my magic wood that lets me get through this without much trouble, but of course not. The game's not going to let me have it that easy. I do like that the game is playing around with momentum a bit more. It's another form of being like really precise with your movements, but it feels less bad than just like that one thing I had difficulty with in the secret where it was just perfect positioning to get past. Like, it's more satisfying when you have to navigate through a field of static objects with your momentum, rather than having moving objects that you then have to contend with as well, and their own momentum. If that makes sense. That last jump, though, sure is a peach. I always end up letting up on my momentum a bit too early, I think, is my issue. Yeah. Wow, I made it. Now, just not to die to the spikes in the last second, which I thankfully didn't. Seriously, like, what does this add to the design? All this does is add, like, just a basic jump check that you've done so many times before after a new challenge. Like, it's nothing new, it's just one last dick move to give you an extra chance to die and have to repeat that stuff again. It doesn't actually add anything. Cube over there, cube over there. Okay, yeah, this means easy enough. It's just a matter of jumping at the right times. Unfortunately, these blocks do fall fast enough that I'm not going to be able to make too much upward movement, and if I'm too lazy, I'm going to drop down too far. Like so. I gotta watch out for that. Gotta keep on moving on. Oops. I do believe they fall in a set pattern. That's what someone said in the stream that I watched, but... God damn, it's a complex enough pattern that I would never be able to read it. I'm just gonna have to go and react on the fly. Which is valid. That's perfectly valid. Alright, second cube. I'll be a cubomancer yet. Oh no, okay, I'm gonna reset. That was a bad position to be in. As is that, honestly. Maybe I shouldn't be jumping from this first ledge. Oh no, I might have screwed myself over. I still could have recovered, but the extra tension kind of ruined my movements. It's fine. Again, it's challenges like these I love, where they introduce sort of, not new mechanics, but like new uses of old mechanics of the moving platforms, just in a more complex fashion. And importantly, there's no super precise, pixel perfect platforming. That's really where the worst of the challenges in this game are, is when you just have to be completely on point 100%. because at that point it's not a matter of skill per se. I mean, it is kind of skill, but there is a limit to how accurate a human can reliably be. So it's really just a matter of being as accurate as you can be over and over until at one point you're accurate enough to actually make it. Like, having to do frame perfect inputs over and over isn't exactly a good challenge. Okay, I keep screwing up at the end there. And again, the fact that that ghost there certainly doesn't help me. It makes it harder to see exactly what I need to do, and I could wait for it to disappear, but I really don't feel like doing that. Okay. Wasn't so bad. Ooh, these ones seem to be following me a little bit, which I don't exactly feel great about. They're not as aggressive as the other chain chomps. I actually do like that. They move just fast enough to be a bit of a worry. You do have to keep on your feet, otherwise they will end up coming after you. But it's not so fast that it's not too difficult to deal with on the fly. I'm gonna want to make a series of ledge jumps here, probably. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad. Alright, screen 19, I must be close to the end. Oh yeah, been a while since I've seen these fish anvils. I'm not really sure what else to call them. At least there's no acid water this time. Alright, well, I did it once easily enough. Surely I can do it again. Of course I can't. Yeah, again, in terms of challenge, that's actually easier than a similar challenge I've had before with the fish anvils. Okay. Time to indie it. Indie as in Indiana Jones, not indie video games, in case that wasn't clear. Oh, I might have screwed myself over with that jump. Yep. No room for error here. But again, it's not the kind of no room for error where you just need to be pixel perfect. There's actually a lot of room for you to move around, a lot of literal physical leeway. But if you make a jump, you have to make sure that it's the right one. In this case, a neutral jump. Ooh, if I had been a little bit quicker, I think I could have survived that. There we go. And I made it to Gloom.